Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody doing? Sorry for being late, few minutes. I was just rushing here and there, and I had to just find a place to come back here and inshallah start the lecture. Jazakallah for tuning in. For those who are online, for those who watch recording, thank you for watching the recording as well. So I hope you had a good break for the last week and you got a chance to go through what we have done. I know last lecture was a bit heavy in terms of the length, probably also content, because there was a lot of information that was given in the last lecture. And don't worry if you don't get everything in a first go. That's absolutely fine. And I think inshallah, just keep on revising it. Just keep on working towards it. And unless you work towards it, you won't get it. So you just need to put the effort, you know. So we always ask Allah to put us on Sirat al-Mustaqim, the right path, and the right path is something you get when you put effort. So just to give you an example, so the biggest of prophets that Allah has sent in this world. So one condition every single prophet had to fulfill was to put effort. So Hazrat Musa alayhi salam couldn't part the sea. It was Allah who parted the sea, but the condition was to strike his stick, his asa, onto the sea. Unless he strikes it, the sea is not going to part. So he had to strike it to part the sea. So that effort had to be put. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had to point to the moon to make it apart. So he had to point. That effort of pointing, he had to make. Hazrat Maryam alayhi salam, when she was pregnant and in pain and hungry, she had to shake the tree for the dates to fall down, so she could eat. But she had to put that effort. So the effort is always there, and Allah has always asked us to put that effort. So keep putting on that effort, inshallah, and you will see how doors will open for you. So don't give up. Listen to the recordings multiple times if you don't get them in first go, but just don't give up. Keep on going, and inshallah you'll get there. So today, what I want to do is I just want to quickly skim through what we did last time, so it's fresh in your memory, using the same notes we did last time. So just to revise that very quickly in 5 minutes or so. And then we'll jump into one of the final topics of Nahu that I want to touch for now. And we'll touch the topic of Nahu that I'm going to show you now today, inshallah. And from tomorrow onwards, the plan is to jump into Sarf, the word morphology, inshallah. So just stay tuned, and then you've come so far until this point that we are now jumping into Sarf. So be very happy about this. Be very proud about this, inshallah. So as always, I will share my screen with you, and please tell me when you see it. If you don't want to tell me, or you can't tell me, that's also fine, but I assume you are able to see it. I usually watch recordings after I record them, so I know if everything went well, and usually I keep my phone here just to make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm saying. Okay, good. So I'm sharing my screen now, so inshallah you'll be able to see it very soon. So whenever you see it, please tell me. Good. So you can ask questions using our WhatsApp group. So WhatsApp group is usually in front of me on my mobile on the right hand side. So if your question pops in, I will surely be able to see something popping in. So please do write your questions. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Ameen. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Ameen ya Rabbil Alamin. So what we did last time was the topic of conditional statements. And we said the conditional statement has two conditions. Not two conditions, two parts. One of those parts is the shart, which is the condition in itself. And the other part is jawabul shart, which is the answer to that condition. Every conditional statement has these two things. There has to be a condition, and there has to be an answer to that condition. Now, that answer to that condition could be a consequence, cause and effect, or something like that. Okay? We will see that, inshallah, very quickly. And we said that in the classical Arabic, when I say classical Arabic, primarily focusing on the Quran, conditional statements are constructed using the fi'l mudari majzoom, meaning the lightest fi'l, lightest present tense fi'l. Usually they're constructed using lightest present tense fi'l. So the fi'l that is creating a condition, the first part, the shart, will be lightest. And the fi'l that is providing answer to that condition, meaning jawabul shart, will also be lightest in the usual case. However, conditions can also be made using fi'l madhi, meaning past tense. In case of past tense, we know there is no lightest form of a past tense. So the conditions using the past tense do not show up as lightest form. Okay? This is what we did last time. And then we quickly went through the 5 types of conditional statements we could see in the Quran. And the first one of those was conditions that starts with the harf in. Conditions that starts with the harf in. Meaning if, and we also know that harf in is the lightest harf. It makes the present tense lightest. In usually is used to make conditions which are possible condition. But possible condition doesn't mean it will definitely happen. They may not be definite condition, but possible condition. There's a chance it can happen. So a possible condition, as we say here, may or may not happen. Okay? It can be used with a past tense, can be used with a past tense, and as an exception, when it's used with the past tense, the jawabul shart could be in a present tense form. In this case, it would be the lightest form. Okay, and the jawabul shart may start with a fa, Okay, so a condition could be made in past, and the jawab could be in present. And if it is in present, the jawab would be lightest, and it may start with the fa. Fa is an indicator that will tell you this is where the jawab is starting, and it is lightest fi'l. And of course, it can be used with the lightest in the present tense fi'l, with the present tense fi'l, which is the normal way of doing it, attaching an in, making the fi'l lightest. Then jawab comes, jawab is also lightest. And we did several examples. I won't go through examples. You have all of this in your notes, and I've shared with you with all these scribblings last time. So you should be having that in your notes. Please find some time to go through this, inshallah, and it will really help you, and you will recall everything, inshallah, or watch the lecture again. So the first type was the condition with in. In could be used with a past tense or a present tense. In case of present tense, everything is lightest, the condition and the answer to the condition. In case of past tense cannot be made lightest, but the answer could potentially be lightest if it starts with a fa. Okay? In that case, it would be present tense fi'l. The second category was conditions with man and ma. We know these isms as ism mawsuls today. Okay, but we know also that they may possibly be used to create conditions. We will touch on this today as well on a different topic that I'm going to run through, inshallah. Okay, and they're quite similar to in. So they also make the fi'l lightest. Okay, but they can also be used with the past tense. In that case, they may not make fi'l lightest, but mostly, generally speaking, they are largely used with present tense. Okay. That's the second category of how you make conditions. First one was with in. The second one was with man and ma. The third one we did was commanding and forbidding. So command as a condition or forbidding as a condition. So when you do commanding and forbidding for conditions, you have an implied in, because in makes a fair lightest, and we also know commands and forbiddings are also lightest. Okay, commands and forbidding are also lightest. In this case, the command and the answer to the command is kind of a cause and effect relationship. It's like consequence. If you put forward a command, there is a consequence to that command. Or if you put forward a forbidding, there is again a consequence with the forbidding. And naturally, as we know, commanding and forbidding cannot happen with past tense. We only use this format for conditional statements in present tense. They are only used in present tense. Okay, so we did a lot of examples last time. Please find time to review those examples again. There's a lot of scribbling here. There's a lot of conditions and answers to the conditions, which are consequences and so on. Okay? Inshallah, it will help you if you revise that again. So, fourth condition. The fourth condition was with low. Low is a harf that indicates a condition. Okay? And it is used to construct conditions which are impossible, conditions that will never come true. Okay? This is the purpose of low, and usually lam is indicator of an answer to this condition. If you see low and you go forward, you may see a lam that comes, and it may indicate to you this is an answer to the condition. Okay, but this is not always the case. Sometimes negation is also used. Sometimes negation is also used to condition, to indicate the answer. But law largely comes with lam as answer to the condition, indicating the answer to the condition. And it is used primarily with past tense. Okay, it's used primarily with past tense. So 4 conditions. First one with in. We can build conditions with in. Works with fail, present tense and past tense both. In case of present tense, makes lightest the condition and the answer to the condition. Okay. In case of past tense, answer to the condition could also be lightest if there's a fa attached to it. Then we did the conditions with ma and man. They work just like in. They also make the present tense lightest. Okay. Then we did conditions with commanding and forbidding, which is more cause and effect kind of relationship. There's a consequence happening to the command or consequence in response to the forbidding. And they are always lightest because commanding and forbidding is always lightest, and they're also always used with the present tense. Then we have conditions with low, which is the 4th category. It is a condition indicator, harf, and it gives you conditions which are impossible. They're impossible conditions. They never come true. And the answer to such conditions usually starts with a lam. Lam indicates that this is where the answer is starting, but not always. Sometimes negation also is answer to this low. Okay? And they're primarily used with fail madi, which is the past tense fail. Okay? And the final type of conditions we did was conditions with iza, meaning when. Iza is a harf, means when. Iza usually is used to push the meaning of past tense into the future. Okay, and they are used to construct conditions which are possible, which can happen, which are likely. Okay, iza ulqu fiha sami'u laha shahiqan wa hiya tafur. If you read the Surah Mulk, iza ulqu, when they will be thrown in it, iza ulqu fiha. Okay? So this is a kind of condition. It tells you that this is going to happen. So let's talking about people to be thrown in the Jahannam, and this is going to happen. So this is a condition which is very likely to happen. It's possible condition. It is usually used with past tense. And the same like the in case where past tense was used to construct, there could be an exception in the Jawabul Shart, where Jawabul Shart may begin with fa and is a present tense, lightest in that case. Okay, so these are the 5 types of conditions we did. 5 types of conditions we did. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to jumpstart onto a new topic. Now, this new topic is about advanced concepts of 2 isms that we already know. Okay, so the first topic is we're going to do, and these 2 isms are ma and man. So what we are doing today is we're doing some advanced concepts of the isms ma and man. Okay, advanced concepts of the ism ma and man. Increase the font size. Advanced concepts of the isms ma and man. So what we know about ma and man today? Today we know about ma and man that they are. Okay, what do we know today? So far. So what we know so far is ma and man are ism mawsul. With me, they're ism mawsul. Okay, so we know them as ism mawsuls. Okay, and we have also learned they can be used to construct conditional statements. Right? One of the ways to construct conditional statements was using ma and man. What do we know so far about them? That's what we know. That's it. That's what we know about them. And we know ism mawsul. We know they can be used to construct conditional statements. But ma and man are used in many different ways as well. More than this. It's the same ism that is used in many different ways. And that's what we want to just learn today. Okay? We will learn the advanced concepts about ma and man, how they are used in the Quran in various different forms and ways, while they are the same ism that we know. Okay? And this is what we want to learn. So before I jump into everything, so let me pick them one by one. So first, we're going to learn about advanced concepts of ma. I'm going to touch on ma first. Okay? These are important concepts, and you need to know them. You need to know them, and you need to. So when you read the Quran and when you read the translation of the Quran, you are able to understand. Oh, this is not the ism mawsul ma. This is not the conditional ma. This is something else. You're able to differentiate because ma as an ism is the same, but it is used in various different contexts. And if you don't have this insight, you will always be wondering if ma is used, for example, if you didn't know ma can also be used for condition statement, you would always be wondering why the fi'l after the ma is the lightest. You would always be wondering because what you know is that ma is an ism mawsul and it needs something else, which could be a fi'l, to complete its meaning. Right? That's what you know. But now that you know the ma and man can also be used to construct conditional statements, you can map onto the translation and understand, oh, this time ma is not used as an ism mawsul. It is used to construct conditions. Okay, so that differentiation is very, very important. So I want to tell you what are the possible ways of using ma. Okay, so first way is ma Ma can be used for questioning. Ma can be used for questioning. Okay? I'll give you examples, inshallah, in the notes, and we'll go through those examples, inshallah. Just listen to me now. I'm just summarizing it. Okay. Ma can be used for questioning. Now you know ma is usually translated as whatever. When it is ism mawsul, it's translated as whatever. But when you question it, it usually translated as what. Okay? Usually gives a meaning, or usually for asking what. Okay? Now, if you ask what, you don't ask what for humans. What I mean is, you won't say, what is Ahmad? Okay? Or what did that? You would say, who did that? Right? So what is usually used for non-humans. What was that? What is this? Things like that. Okay? For example, so what I'm saying is it's generally used for non-humans to construct questions. Generally. May not be the case all the time, but generally speaking, it is used to construct questions that are targeting non-humans. Example, if I say ma haza, ma haza, ma haza. Ma haza means, what is this? What is this? Ma haza. What is this? Okay? So there's no human element to it. There's no human element to it. Ma haza, meaning what is this? And you know ma is here as an ism. This is an ism. What is the status of ma here? Think about it. Is there a reason to call it nasib? Is there a reason to call it jar? No. So it's rafa. When it is rafa, it becomes a mubtada. At rafa, it becomes a mubtada. What is the status of haza? What is the status of haza? Is any reason to call it jar? Or any reason to call it nasib? No, it's an independent pointer. And the default status of an independent pointer is rafa. So it becomes a khabar. And there is an invisible is after the mubtada, right? So what is this? What is this? Whatever is this doesn't really rings a bell that much, right? So you could use that kind of translation, fine. But the whole idea is this is where you're constructing a question. This is where you're constructing a question, and you're using ma to construct that question. Okay? Another way of using ma is for refutation or negation. Well, mainly it's refutation. Let me just keep it to refutation for now. Okay? Let me just do negation as well. So not negation. Okay. I'm not giving you terminology, okay? So what is it called in Arabic? I'm just giving you the concept of what types of ways ma is generally used, okay? So first category is for questioning, to construct questions that are asking what. The second is for refutation, okay? So in case of refutation, it could be used with a jumla fi'liya or a jumla ismiya. Doesn't matter, okay? Can be used in either way. Refutation and negation. So what is refutation? Anyone knows refutation? Look here. This is the synonyms for refutation. Denial, rejection, disprove, contradiction. So all of this is refutation. Refutation is when you deny something, when you dismiss something, when you disagree something. Negation is when you kind of say something completely opposite, cancel something, right? So that if you completely cancel something. So if If I disagree with you, I probably will refute to you by giving you an argument. Okay? So there's a slight difference between negation and refutation. So ma is normally constructed for refutation, but may also be used for negation, generally speaking. But it works with the jumla fi'liya and jumla ismiya. Okay. The third category is ma is used as an ism mawsul. This is what you already know. This is what you know. Okay, there's nothing new about this. So in this case, it is usually translated as whatever. As whatever. Okay, in this case, it is usually translated as whatever. Okay, so it is used as ism mawsul as well. Okay. Now we have also learned in the last class that it can also be used to construct condition, to construct conditional sentences, conditional statements. Okay, construct conditional statements. And we have done this in the last class in quite a lot of detail. We'll touch it briefly today as well. Okay. So I need to make it a bit smaller so everything remains in front of you when I keep on writing. Okay. Okay. Now, so 4 types we already know. We'll do some examples, inshallah. So ma is used for questioning, to construct questioning, meaning giving the meaning of what, asking question what, usually targeting non-humans, not humans, usually targeting non-humans. It is also used for refutation or negation. It is also used as an ism mawsul, which is an incomplete meaning with requiring something else to complete its meaning that you already know. And it is also used to construct conditional statements. Construct conditional statements. Okay, that we did in the last class. Now, this one that I'm going to write is an advanced concept. Don't worry if you don't understand it right now. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, it is also used to turn a fi'l into a masdar. A masdar. Masdar is an idea. Okay? Don't worry about this. Just swallow it for now. Okay, just swallow it for now. Inshallah, we'll do it later on. Okay. It's also used to turn a fail. You know, fail is an action. It's normally an action. Okay. And if you want to construct an action into an idea, for example, if you want to transform educated into education. If you want to transform educated into education, okay, or he educated, for example. Let me forget he. So educated is it's a verb, right? Education isn't. Education is a concept. Education is an idea. Okay, so this is a fi'l. This is a verb. I'm saying verb because it's English. Otherwise, fi'l is he educated, and this is an idea. Right? It's an idea. So if you want to turn a fi'l into a masdar, into an idea, that's where you also use ma. It's called ma masdariya, but we'll inshallah do it later on. It's an advanced concept. Just bear with me and just get it. Just take it as I'm giving you. Okay. Then ma is also used to express amazement. Also used to express amazement. So when you really need to express something which is amazing, you also use ma. Okay. And the final one is used for obscurity. For obscurity. Security, meaning it gives you the meaning of any. It gives you the meaning of any. We'll do that in detail inshallah today. Okay, so there's 7 uses, as you can see in the Quran. Ma is used in 7 different ways. 7 different ways. Okay, so what you know so far are 2 ways. This is what you know. You know these 2 ways. You know ma as an ism mawsul, and you know ma for constructing conditional sentences. You have not learned the ma for questioning, which is ma istifhamiyya. Ma istifhamiyya. Ma for negation and refutation, which is ma nafiya. You have also not done ma for turning a fi'l into masdar, which is called ma masdariyya. You also don't know ma ta'jubiyya, which is ma for amazement. And you have not done ma for obscurity, which is ma ibhamiyya. So don't worry about the terminology. I'm just giving that to you so you know. Keep these 7 things in mind. Okay? This is what we're going to touch today. Then, same story with the man. Same story with the man. Okay? We'll do advanced concepts of man. Advanced concepts of man. Okay? So, what happened to the fonts? Wait a second, please. Okay. So advanced concepts of man. Just like the ma, we have advanced concepts of man. And the good news is they're not 7. They're not 7. In the Quran, they're just 3. They're just 3. First one is the same, for questioning. Ma for questioning. In this case, ma is giving you meaning of who. So asking, for example, who. Used for asking who, and because you're asking for who, is generally for humans. Generally for humans. Who did that? For example, if I construct the same example, for example, let's say man hada. Man hada. Man hada. That means, who is this? Who is this? Man hada means, who is this? Ma haza means, what is this? You see the difference? Man haza means, who is this? Ma haza means, what is this? Now, who is this is for humans usually, right? In opposed to what is this, which is usually for non-humans. Okay? And then you have man as ism mawsul, as something seriously wrong with the fonts here. Okay. And man as ism mawsul, man as ism mawsul, okay, and the final one is man for conditional statements. Final one is man for conditional statements, for constructing conditional statements. Okay. So I'm just trying to fix this font so it's cleaner and neater for you to understand. Inshallah. Give me one more second and it's done, inshallah. Done. Okay, good. So, yeah, so let me try to move everything on the same page. So one way of doing it is to just reduce the font. Yeah, okay. So what we are doing is advanced concepts of ma and man. And that's what we are doing today. What we know about them today is that can be used as ism mawsuls, or they can be used to construct conditional statements. But now we have learned that the ma and man can be used in various different ways, not just forming not just as conditional statement indicators or ism mawsul, but in a variety of different ways. Okay, so we have learned that today, and inshallah we'll dive into this a bit more now. So we have learned that ma is used at least in 7 ways in the Quran: questioning, refutation, ism mawsul, for conditional statements, turning a fi'l into a masdar, an idea, to express amazement, for obscurity as well. In the same way, man is used at least in the 3 ways in the Quran: for questioning, for as ism mawsul, and for constructing the conditional statements. Okay, for constructing the conditional statements. What you know is the last 2 here. You know from the man also, just like from ma, you know the last 2. So all you need to learn effectively is basically the first one, questioning. It's pretty simple. Okay, inshallah. If you are clear on this, I'll let you absorb this little bit. I'll give you about 30 seconds to absorb this little bit. Just take a look at this list. Okay, and inshallah, in 30 seconds, we'll switch to a different mode, go into the notes and try to do it, inshallah. Okay, very good. Jazakallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. I think you all have done it. So let me switch gears now. Let me jump to the notes that we have. Where are the notes? Okay, here are the notes. So I will send these notes to you, and I've intentionally not sent them to you because I wanted to scribble on them. Just like before, I will send you the scribbling today and also the cleaner version of these notes, if you may. So you have both the versions and you can practice in your own time. So what we are doing are advanced concepts of ma and man. So let's start with the ma. So what does the note say? The note says the ma is an ism that can be used in various ways that we just discussed. And in the Quran, it appears at least in 7 ways. So you should be aware of this so you can differentiate when you read the Quran. And let me tell you something very clearly. You must try to take help from the translation. Please take help from the translation. Okay, if you don't take help from the translation, you will find difficulty. Take help from the translation. Okay, you may find it confusing if you just try to do it from Arabic. It takes some time and getting used to and some experience and just a bit more familiarity with the Arabic language and the constructs before you start to differentiate them in Arabic only. Right now, my advice would be whenever you're trying to find what type of ma it is, take help from the translation. Look at the translation and try to find if you can make it out. Okay? Just don't try to do it only with Arabic. And if you're not able to do it, you'll go into deep depression that I'm not able to do it. and that would really impact your learning and performance and your motivation. Don't do that, okay? Take help from the translation, okay? It's okay to take help from the translation at this point in time. So let's jump into the concepts, inshallah. The first one, ma for questioning. Ma for questioning. As I said, ma for questioning, it is called ma istifhamiyah. Ma istifhamiyah. You don't have to remember these terms, but if you can, that is good. Because if you go in advanced Arabic, you will find these terms written in the Arabs of the Arabic. So, so it's good to know, but you don't have to memorize them, remember them for now if you don't want to. Over the period of time, try to make them part of your daily routine when you study the Arabic language, and inshallah they will become easy. Ma istifhamiyah means ma for questioning. As I said, it is used to ask questioning regarding giving a meaning of what, and it is generally used for non-humans. Okay, so I have an example for you on the right side from the Quran. Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka birabbikal kareem. Now, if you just look at the Arabic, you will find it very difficult to make out what type of ma is it. Is it questioning? Is it condition? Is it ism mawsul? Is it refutation? Is it whatever? It is turning a fi'l into an idea. Is it obscurity? What is it? So you will really find it difficult. So when you read the ayah and you see a ma, your thought process should be, okay, let me look at the translation. Now, when you look at the translation, it says, "Oh, mankind, what has deceived you concerning your Lord, the generous?" So it is a question, isn't it? It's a question. In fact, there's a typo. I need to fix it. So it's supposed to be a question mark here. It's a question. The translation says it's a question. Okay. So when you see it's a question, this is not your ism mawsul ma. This is a ma for questioning. It is ma istifhamiyah. This ma istifhamiyah, and this what maps to this ma. This what maps to this ma. Okay. Okay. You understand? So that's why you need to process your concepts. So when you see a ma, you go and open the translation and try to find what the translation says, so I can differentiate what type of ma and then label it. Okay, this ma is for questioning. Okay? This is the questioning ma. Okay, this is giving me question. Okay. There's nothing else I need to tell you on this. This is done. This is what ma for questioning is. That's it. That's it. And inshallah, when you progress further with your Arabic studies, there will come a time where you will be able to differentiate between the ma just by reading the Arabic language of the Quran. But right now, keep it to translation. Okay? Take help from translation. The other one, ma is for negation or refutation. It's called ma nafiya. It's called ma nafiya, and it can be used with jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. It can be used either way, in any form of jumla, either jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Okay, and this is one of the examples that you already you may already see in different places in the Quran. Let me give you an example here. So ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa. Okay, ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa. Now I don't know what type of ma it is. It looks like an ism mawsul ma to me. Looks like an ism mawsul ma to me, because it's a ma. I can say whatever. Anzalna, we send down. Okay, so it looks like an ism mawsul ma. So let me check with the translation. But when I say, if I translate it as whatever, okay, if it is ism mawsul ma, whatever. Okay, And anzalna is we sent down. We sent down. It's a past tense with nahnu version. Okay, whatever we sent down, alayka is upon you, upon you, upon you. The Quran, and so on. Okay, let's not go into a translation rule too much. So if I translate it that way, then I try to then say, okay, let me verify with the translation here. So when you look at the translation, the translation says, "We have not sent down to you the Quran that you be distressed." And you are completely surprised. You say, hey, why? Where does this not come from? I know there's something called forbidding. I know there's something called la that means not, but I don't see any la here. I don't see any forbidding here. Where is this not coming from? So you have no clue where it is coming from. So what you were assuming that ma is ism mawsul and the anzalna was its silatul mawsul was effectively not the right, it was not the right assumption. This is wrong assumption. This assumption is wrong. So this ma has to be a different type of ma. And if it is bringing a meaning of not, a negation, refutation, we have not sent down to you the Quran. This not is coming because there is a ma of nafiya. There is ma of refutation here. Okay? Understand? So if you try to do it just with the Arabic and then you read the translation, you will get confused because say, okay, I know it's as an ism mawsul, but it's really not shown in here. Okay? So take help of translation to just find what type of mind. Just try to establish this mapping, and inshallah, slowly, you will switch to Arabic, and you'll be able to do it with Arabic, inshallah. Okay? Another example. Another example is يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون. Okay, so what we're saying here is, let's look at the translation. Let's look at the translation, how it's working out. They think to deceive Allah and those who believe. I know I can map it here. So this part, يخادعون Allah, is they think to deceive Allah. Okay, this is one. Okay, now comes وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. This is two. And those who believe. This is two. Okay? Those who believe. وَمَا يَخْضَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ. But they deceive not except themselves. But they deceive not. Where is this not coming from? I know illa. I know illa means except. I know illa means except. This illa is except. Okay? But I don't get it where this not coming from. This negation coming from. I don't see any forbidding. I don't see any la. This not is coming from this ma. This is a ma nafiya, a ma of negation. Okay? Okay? وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. And they perceive it not. Again, there's no negation that I know. Law is not there, forbidding is not there. So this not is coming from the second ma that we have here. Okay? It's not is coming from the second ma. It's refuting. It's refuting the point that they think they're deceiving Allah, but they're actually not deceiving Allah, they're deceiving themselves. And they don't even realize it. They just don't even realize it. Okay? It's such a powerful statement. So anyone can fall into it, because people just believe they can. Many people believe that they can deceive Allah, but then you can't deceive Allah. Okay, you understand? These two ma's are giving you the meaning of not here. Okay? That's ma nafiya, the ma for refutation or negation. We did the ma for questioning. We did the ma for refutation and negation. Okay, so take help from the translation, inshallah. The third one is ma mausula, which is ma as it's a mausul. Hurrah, we know that already. It is translated as whatever. We already know. It gives you some sort of incomplete meaning, but it needs something to complete its meaning. So it is a ma that you already know. So a very simple example: La a'budu ma ta'budun. Okay, I do not worship what you worship. So you may comment that I could translate it as whatever. Okay, which is absolutely fine, but in English, it would feel more natural and more closer to the grammar, more grammatically correct. It will feel that way if you just say what here. I do not worship what you worship, or I do not worship whatever you worship. They both are fine, absolutely fine. It's really a matter of interpretation how you translate. But the question is, either I put what or whatever. Is it a question that is coming up here? No, it's not a question that's coming up. There's not a question mark. It's a statement. La a'budu ma ta'budu. You're telling, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling someone, La a'budu, I don't worship what you worship. He's not asking. He's not asking anything. You're not asking. So if it was asking, then it would be ma for questioning, ma istifhamiyah. But it's not asking. It's basically telling. It's a statement that you're giving out. It makes it ma mausula. Okay, it's an ism mausul ma. So if I just stop it here, I do not worship what or whatever, it won't give me a full meaning. You need the you worship part, this ta'budun, which is the sila. Okay, which is the sila for this ma mausula, right? That's ma for ism mausul. So translation really help you understand this difference. Okay, so take help from the translation, inshallah. So ma for conditional statements. We did that in the last lecture in quite a lot of detail. Let's do it again a little bit here. So ma for conditional statements, it's called ma shartiya. It is used to create conditions. It would usually give you a meaning of whatever might. Okay, to construct a statement, which is conditional statement, but don't stick to this only. So okay, so it's a language. It can have variables here. So but ma is used to construct statements as well. In this case, when ma is used to construct a conditional statement, it makes a fi'l mudari, means the present tense fi'l, majzoom, meaning lightest. Makes the fi'l mudari lightest. Okay, and the answer to that condition, the jawabul shart, the answer to that condition would also be lightest. And we learned last time that it works just like in works. The harf in that makes fi'l mudari lightest. Okay, it's mainly used with the present tense fi'l, but could also be used with the past tense fi'l. In that case, it won't be making it lightest, because there's no concept of being lightest in the past tense. So it makes the fi'l present tense lightest. Okay, and the answer to the condition, which is jawabul shart, that is also going to be lightest. Okay, let's look at some Quranic example. Ma taf'alu min khairin ya'lamhu Allahu. Ya'lamhu Allahu. Now let's look at it. So you see ma taf'alu. As soon as you see ma taf'alu, You say, okay, taf'alu, I know this fi'l, I know ma could be of many types, but what type of ma it is? Let me check what comes after it. So you see, this is a fi'l that starts with a ta, and you can call it, okay, so it seems to me it's a present tense. Seems to me it's a present tense. Okay, so it feels like present tense to me because it starts with a ta. There's a lot of thickness. I need to remove the thickness. Oops, sorry. Bear with me, guys. I just want to reduce the thickness of the font so it's cleaner. Okay, that's better. Okay, so you know, you feel it's a present tense, and it ends with u, taf'alu. If it was a past tense, it should be fa'alu, right? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. But it starts with a ta and still ends with a u, so it has to be present tense. But it is missing noon. It is not taf'aluna, which is the correct present tense form in antum, right? It is not taf'aluna, it is taf'alu, completely telling me from all angles that this is the lightest form of the present tense fail. It's the lightest form of the present tense fail. So this part tells me it's lightest. The ending tells me it's lightest, and I know it's antum. I know it's antum because it starts with a ta, ends with una, and una is not una because it's lightest. But what is the thing that's making it lightest? There is no harf before it. There's no in before it. There's no lightest in, lam, lamma, wal, falli. All those lightest harfs. There's nothing before it. The thing that's before it is a ma, and this ma is making it lightest. Why is ma making it lightest? Because this is ma shartiya. This is a ma used to develop a conditional statement. Okay, so that's how you say, oh, because the fail after is coming in lightest, I can say this is a ma for conditions. Okay, min khairin. Okay, min khairin. And you're looking for answer to the condition. Min khairin ya'lamhu. You found another fi'l here, which is again lightest, right? Which is again lightest. And as soon as you found the fi'l, which is lighter, you say, okay, this is the answer to my condition. This is the answer to my condition. Okay? And to verify your idea, you could go to the translation and say, okay, and whatever good you do, Allah knows it. Subhanallah. Whatever good you do, Allah knows it. This is the part we're looking at. All of the translation below is of this gray part. This is the gray part translation, okay? So I'm not going into that. So I'm just looking at the first part. And whatever good you do. Taf'alu is you do. Okay? You do, you plural. Min khair, from good. So if you translate it, literally, it would be from good. But in English, it won't really make sense. Whatever you do from good, it doesn't really make sense. So you have to make sense of that translation. And that sense would come with the statement like this. And whatever good you do, ya'lam. Ya'lamhu Allahu. Allahu is rafa. You see, Allahu is rafa. Ya'lam is a huwa form. It's a huwa form. So Allah, the lafzul jalala, is the outside doer. Okay, it's an outside doer. You translate the outside doer first. Allah knows, attached pronoun, it. Allah knows it. Whatever good you do, Allah knows it. The first part is a condition. The second part is the answer to that condition. Both are lightest. You see that? Good. So that's the fourth way of using ma. Okay. So we did the ma for questioning. Then we did the ma for refutation and negation. Then we did the ma for as ism mawsul, and then we did ma for conditional statement, and now we're going to do ma for turning a fi'l into a masdar. So I'm not going to do this here right now. I'm going to skip this for now, because I want you to understand this later on. But what you need to do is you need to just be aware of this. There is a reason. There is a way of using ma to turn an action into an idea. Okay, so ma could be used for turning fi'l into masdar. So for now, we skip this one. Okay? Skip this one. This is something you will better understand once you have done some advanced nahu and also sarf. Okay? Inshallah, we'll come to that at some later stage in the future. Good. Then we come to the ma for amazement. Ma ta'jubiyya. Ma ta'jubiyya. So ma for amazement is naturally used, as the name suggests, to express amazement. And if you look at an example in the Quran, قُتِلَ الْإِنسَانُ مَا أَكْفَرَهُ. قُتِلَ الْإِنسَانُ مَا أَكْفَرَهُ. And if you go to the translation and you say, cursed is the man. Cursed is the man. Okay? I would literally translate as the man, because there's al to it. Okay? But this is a translation I just copied from Tanzil. So translations can differ, of course. Some people don't literally translate it. Some people translate it to give the right meaning. Just review many translations, and inshallah you will find the one that is more comfortable to you. So قُتِلَ الْإِنسَانُ, cursed is the man, مَا أَكْفَرَهُ, how disbelieving is he? There's kind of an exclamation mark in front of it here. There's an exclamation mark. How disbelieving is he? This is how you show amazement. Okay? Akfara is a special pattern that is kind of akbara pattern. Allahu Akbar, for example. Akbara, ahsana. These are the patterns that are used for comparatives and superlatives. And you have not done it yet, but ma is used with this kind of pattern, akfara, which is making it a ma for amazement. Ma for amazement, which is called ma ta'jubiyya. Okay? And that's it. That's all I can tell you here. So when you read the translation, try to make sense out of what type of ma it is. Okay? Inshallah, you will find it useful. Okay? Ma for obscurity, the next one. Ma for obscurity. It's called ma ibhamiyya. Ma ibhamiyya. What do we mean by ma for obscurity? What we mean is it makes things a bit more general, or more general. So it gives you a meaning of any. Okay? So it makes things a bit vaguer or general. Okay? That is applicable to a bit wider space. Okay? And the way it is used is usually it is placed after an ism which is nakira, meaning common. It is placed after ism which is a common ism. I've given one example here. Masjidun ma. Masjidun ma. Look at this example. Masjidun ma. This means any masjid. Any masjid. Okay? If I say ma masjidun, ma masjidun. Okay, ma masjidun. So this, I just switched the places completely. Okay, switch the places completely. I brought the ma first and then masjidun second. So this would mean, what is masjid? What is masjid? This becomes ma for questioning. This is the ma for questioning, just by switching place. Now I'm saying masjidun ma means any masjid. It's not a question anymore. It's any masjid. Ma masjidun is, what is masjid? Ma masjidun maps to the first category of ma. See, remember this? For questioning, this category of ma. And we did this example. Let me quickly show you this example. So we did this example here. See? We did ma haza. What is this? Ma haza. So ma is before an ism. And that ism in this case is not a common ism because pointers are always proper, but it could be a common ism. It could be ma masjidun. In that case, it would be what is masjid. But when you come here again, you are saying masjidun ma, which means any masjid. It is not question ma. Do you see that subtle difference between ma masjidun and masjidun ma? It completely changes the meaning altogether. So ma masjidun is any masjid. Ma masjidun is what is masjid. This one line just completely changes the meaning altogether. So let's look at the example from the Quran, inshallah. Inna Allaha la yastahi an yazriba maslan ma. Maslan ma. This is what we are looking at. Now, maslan is an ism in nasab form, and it is common. Is there a reason to call it proper? No, there's no al to it. There's nothing. It's not a name of a person. It's not a name of a place. It's maslan. It's just a common ism, and there comes a ma after it. There comes a ma after it, and then we read the translation. Indeed, Allah is not timid to present any example. You see that? Any example. So this part refers to this any example. This thing. Okay? Any example. So where is this any coming from? It's coming from this ma. This is this ma for obscurity. Ma for obscurity. Ma ibhamiya. Ma ibhamiya. You see that? Inshallah. So that's what uses of ma are in the Quran, really. So nothing else, nothing beyond this. So so you need to just keep in mind all of these ma's when you read the ma in the Quran, so you are aware. And we take a look at the translation to understand what type of ma it is. So is it a ma for questioning? Is it a ma for refutation? Is it a ma as an ism mawsul? Is it a ma as a conditional statement? Is it constructing a conditional statement? Or is it a ma for amazement? We're skipping the ma for fail into masdar. That's the ma we're skipping at the moment, so I'm not talking about that. Is it a ma for amazement? Is it ma for obscurity? If you can't map it to any of these ma, then probably it's the ma that turns a fail into a masdar. Okay? Fail into a masdar. Okay, which is something you haven't done yet, so you can assume, okay, there's something I don't know. But largely, in most of the cases, you would be able to understand. So you know most of the uses of ma now, inshallah. Okay, so when you look at the ma now, don't just look at it as a ism mawsul. It's an ism, yes. One of its uses is ism mawsul. Okay, there are many other uses, 7 uses. Okay, good. Let's move on to the concept of man. Now that you have done the concept of ma, the concept of man is going to be very, very simple for you. Okay, it's going to be simple for you, inshallah. So man is, again, it's an ism that can be used in various ways. Man, it means what does it mean? It means whoever. Man means whoever. That's what you know today. It's an ism mawsul and it means whoever. That is your understanding today, isn't it? That is your understanding today. And when you look at man, there could be different ways. So in the Quran, it is appearing at least in 3 different ways. Just like ma appears in the 7 different ways. You just need to be aware of this. So you know ma and man has different types of uses. It's not just the same use that you should be expecting all the time. So again, from this angle as well, please take help from the translation. Take help from the translation. It will help you. You are of course welcome to try it without taking help from translation. But if you're not able to make it right, that's fine. Don't get disappointed about this and just take help from translation. Okay? It is a concept that confuses many people, including myself. And I myself take help from translation quite a lot. So don't try to be very impatient about your learning experience towards it. Keep on trying, and inshallah, over the period of time, it will become more and more comfortable to you, inshallah. Okay, good. So let's see some examples. So first was, for ma, we did ma for questioning. Let's do man for questioning. Now, man for questioning is usually for asking who, and generally, who applies to humans. Okay, who applies to humans, and humans include the jinnat and shayateen and malaika and the angels, right? So remember the human and non-human debate we did in the last course? So it applies to humans primarily. So it will give you an example, meaning of question like, who did that, for example? Who did that? Okay? And as opposed to asking what did that? Okay? As opposed to asking what did that, you would be asking who did that, and who is basically a human element to it. Who is basically a human element to it. Okay, so it's just like ma was called ma istifhamiya. This is called man istifhamiya in Arabic. Okay, from terminology perspective, let's look at an example from the Quran. Faman azlamu mim faman azlamu mimman iftara ala Allahi kaziba. Okay, now if you read the translation, it says, and who is more unjust? And who is more unjust than one who invents about Allah a lie? You could say, okay, if I just change this who to whoever, and because I know man is a mawsul, I could change it to whoever as well, because that's what man also means. So then I would read this translation like, and whoever is more unjust than one who invents about Allah a lie. It still makes some sense to me, but what about this question mark? What about this question mark? If you use whatever, if you use whoever, sorry, it won't make much sense, really. So, because you see, this is a question being put forward. And you see, some mawsuls are not for questions. So this man is probably playing a different role in this ayah. So it's man that is triggering this question. This man is triggering this question. Okay, so this is a man istifhamiya. It is for questioning. The translation helps you understand this. Just analyze the translation, try to map it. Okay, so if you translate whatever, won't make much sense here from English perspective as well. Okay, then we have man mausula. Man as ism mawsul. This is what we know already. So it is translated as whoever, or sometimes the one who as well, or even who as well sometimes. Okay, it is very similar to allazi. Allazi is also the one who, and it, but generally speaking, it's a bit more ambiguous than allazi. It's a bit more vaguer than allazi. Okay, it generalizes a bit more than allazi. Okay, so this is what you know, and we can quickly do the example. It's the same ayah that we did above. فَمَنْ أَزْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَى عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. Okay, now this who, with the first who, was referring to the first man. The second who is referring to the second man. Okay, the second who is referring to the second one. The first who brings the question mark. The second who remains incomplete until you provide the complete information. Imagine, I just read, and who is more unjust than the one who? Okay. Who is more unjust than the one who? If I just read it up to this point, I'm left with an incomplete statement. Okay? If I just will read it up to this point, who is more unjust, which is this point, I could still put a question mark here. Who is more unjust? It still gives me a sense of completed statement, isn't it? And who is more unjust? I'm just asking a question, because this man is a question mark in the first one, but the second one is not a question mark. It needs something to complete its meaning. It's an ism mawsul, and it needs its silatul mawsul, right? So if tara ala Allahi kaziba comes, which is invents about Allah a lie. So this is a sila for this man, and then your statement is completed. You see the difference between the two mans? There are two man used in the same ayah, but for entirely different purpose. The first one is more questioning man. The second one is a mawsul man. And if you just read the Arabic, you probably won't be able to differentiate that much. Okay. Okay. So again, you see here, this is more of an akbara pattern, superlative comparative pattern. So you have not done this, but just to give you some insight, it's akbara kind of pattern. Akbara, aslama. Okay. It's another indication, but let's not go there right now. So who is more unjust, which is the first mark for questioning, and then one who invents about Allah a lie. So this is silatul mawsul. Okay, completes its meaning. So it tells you that this who is referring to the ism mawsul ma. Okay, this is used as ism mawsul ma. Okay. Now the third category we did yesterday as well. So this is man shartiya, which is man for conditional statements. Man for conditional statements. It is used to create conditions, just like ma. It will give you a meaning of like whoever might or whomever might, kind of. But you have to make sense of that English language construct. But it will give you that meaning in terms of conditions and answer to the conditions. And it will always make a fi'l mudare lightest. It will also always make a fi'l mudare lightest, right? So you know fi'l mudare is lightest in the conditional statements. So the present tense fi'l is lightest. Madzum, the answer to this condition will also be lightest, and it just works like in. So it's whatever we did with the ma, it's exactly the same here, but it just doesn't give you whatever meaning. It gives you whoever meaning because it's man. Okay, it's man shartiya. Example from the Quran. Man yasha'illahu yuzlilhu. Man yasha'illahu yuzlilhu. So you saw man. I think we did this example in the last class as well. So you saw man and you saw yasha. And you know yasha'u is, yasha'u is the normal form. You don't know any fi'l that ends with a kasra. You don't know any fi'l that ends with a kasra. Yes, neither in your present tense nor in your past tense chart. You just don't know any fi'l that ends in a kasra like this. Okay. And you're surprised, why is this fi'l like this? Starts with a ya, ends with a kasra. I'm just completely confused. This is a kasra because there is an alif after it. It was the lightest form of fi'l. There was an alif after it. There's an alif after it that forced this kasra into this fi'l. Okay? When the fi'l is lightest and there is an alif after it, you put a kasra for the flow. Okay, and this is the huwa form where Allah Lafzul Jalala is the outside doer. Okay, now what is the reason a fi'l is becoming lightest after the man? Why is it lightest after the man? Why is it lightest? The only reason it is lightest is because it's a condition. If it's not a condition, it shouldn't be lightest. Right? It should be normal. But it is lightest because this man is indicating that this is a man for condition. And you read the translation, whomever Allah wills. Now, this is a condition put forward. If Allah wills, okay? Whomever He wills. Whomever He wills. Okay? This is a condition. Now, there has to be, then what? Whomever He wills, then what? The answer is, you need to find the answer. Yuzlilhu, he leaves astray. Now this yuzlil is again lightest, you see? And what is the reason for it to be lightest? There's nothing before it that makes it lightest. The only reason for it to be lightest is that it is connected to yasha as a jawabul sharts, as the answer to this condition. Okay? The man made yasha lightest, and as a result, Yudlil becomes lightest because it's the answer to the condition. You see that? So this is the condition, and this is the answer to the condition. And we go forward. We say man yasha. This time man yasha. There's no kasra because there's no alif after it. Now it's coming in a normal form, right? Man yasha yaj'alhu. Again, there's a lightest fi'l. The two lightest fi'l. This is the first one, and this is the second one. What is the reason yasha is lightest? Because man is making it lightest. How can man make it lightest? Because when man is used for constructing conditional statements, it makes the fi'l mudari lightest. Okay? Why is the yaj'alhu lightest? Because it's the answer to yasha. It's the answer to this condition. And if we read the translation, we say, and whomever He wills, and whomever He wills, which is the condition, okay, then what? He puts him on a straight path. Yaj'alhu ala siratim mustaqim. Ala siratim mustaqim. He puts him on a straight path. So this is all jawab al-shart. This is all answer to your condition. Okay? You understand? Inshallah. Good. So very good. I think we're quite close to the ending of the class. So what we did today, let me take you back to the Word document that we constructed right in the beginning. So just so you map everything, summarize everything. So what we knew before this class was that man and ma are used as ism mawsul or to construct conditional statements. But today we have learned that man and ma can also be used for various different purposes. One of them is questioning. Ma is used for questioning. Ma can also be used for refutation and negation. We did some examples as well. Then we already know it's also an ism mawsul. It can also be used to construct conditional statements. We saw that we can use it for turning a fi'l into a masdar. This is something we have skipped. It's something we have skipped for now. We haven't done it yet. Okay, so don't worry about it too much. Okay, so we just skipped it, but we just know now. I just informed you that this is something that happens, but you just need to know it, and inshallah, at a later stage sometime we will do it. Okay. And then we also said ma is used to express amazement. And it is also used for obscurity, meaning giving the meaning of any, when it is used with a common ism after it. Like we did an example of masjidun ma. Masjidun ma was like any masjid. Ma masjidun would be what is masjid. Okay? Then we did some advanced concepts of man, questioning, primarily questioning, because the remaining two you already know. Man has three types of uses in the Quran: for questioning, for ism mawsul, and for constructing conditional statements. And for questioning, it gives more of a who meaning, and it applies generally to human, like man haza, who is this? Okay, so that's what we did. So inshallah, revise this, watch the lecture again. I will send you these notes that we have scribbled on, and also this document that I'm showing right now. And inshallah, if you just keep on going, if you just revise your lecture, and if you just inshallah keep trying, you will be able to do it, inshallah. Okay, so don't worry about if you don't get everything very quickly, immediately. So this is how it happens. It can take time. Don't worry about it. But just keep on going. Okay, inshallah. You have come so far now, and you just don't want to give up, right? So it keeps on going like this. You have the recordings available to you. Watch them again and again. Find man and ma in the Quran. Go to the translation. Try to find if it is, what kind of ma or man it is, and inshallah it will become very, very smoother. Put the effort. Nothing comes without effort, inshallah. Okay, so I'm very happy to that you joined and you listened to this lecture. We'll share things with you, inshallah. And tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, if all goes well, we will start the study of sarf, which in itself is an exciting topic. So until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I will see you tomorrow. And have a wonderful weekend. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.